Attention A1 Trading Show fans. If you're looking to get funded, we've got a solution for you. Our partnered prop firm FX2 Funding helps traders get access to up to $200,000 in trading capital. FX2 Funding is not your average prop firm. We've chosen them as our partner because of their fair examination rules, their professional and available customer service, and they have an outstanding reputation in the prop firm space. Here's a quick look at their evaluation process. First, they don't have a time limit on their evaluations. That means that you can take your time when passing your evaluation. There's no pressure to rush your trading. Second, there is only one phase to pass in their evaluation before getting access to your funded account. Also, their evaluation fees are fairly priced and fully refundable upon passing. Once you're funded, you'll be able to keep up to 85% of your trading profits. Finally, a rule we know swing traders will love: you can hold your positions over the weekend. For a limited time, get 15% off any of their account challenges with promo code A1Trading15. That's 15% off any account challenge with code A1Trading15. If you're ready to get funded, we're dropping a link in the chat right now, and you can also find it in the description down below. So go ahead and get signed up today for 15% off with promo code A1Trading15. Now, back to the show.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another live show. It is good to be back. I was out last week, obviously. If you're a regular viewer, you know that. I am back, however, in the saddle here for another trading week. And as always, joined by James. Hey, James, how's it going?
Hey, good. How was your trip?
It was great. It was pretty refreshing. We did a lot of hiking and biking. For anybody who didn't know, obviously I was out last week. I was actually in Banff, Canada with my wife. We did a lot of kind of outdoorsy stuff, and it was a lot of fun. It was really beautiful out there. And it's good to be back, but definitely I'm gonna miss being out in the refreshing, cool, clean air all
I saw
week.
a very majestic looking picture of you drinking a Coke Zero up in the mountains.
Oh yes,
If you know Nick and are around him as much as we are, he loves some Coke Zero.
I certainly do. It is my favorite drink. It is my guilty pleasure drink for sure. Yeah. So James, again, we had kind of a crazy week last week. What about this week? I know you've got Forex Factory pulled up here. What's kind of on our radar?
Yeah, so we definitely have some things to keep an eye out for. Nothing today, as you can see here, Monday, September 11th. We have nothing going on today, and tomorrow, not too busy either. We do have the Clement count change happening over in the UK. That'll be at 2 a.m. here on the East Coast, however. Also at 2 a.m. on Wednesday, we'll have UK GDP numbers. And now we get into some of the more impactful stuff for us. We have CPI on Wednesday happening at 8:30 a.m., followed by the Australian unemployment rate, but that'll be happening much later at 9:30. And Thursday is going to be a very, very busy day. So we have at 8:15, we have European monetary policy statement. Their new interest rate decision is going to be announced, currently projected to remain unchanged at 4.25%. And then immediately following that, because that'll be at 8:15 a.m. here on the East Coast, immediately following that at 8:30, we have core PPI numbers as well as the normal PPI monthly numbers, retail sales, and unemployment claims. So big dose of US dollar news happening early Thursday morning. And then moving into Friday, we round out the week with two more US dollar news events with the Empire State Manufacturing Index, as well as the preliminary University of Michigan consumer sentiment numbers. So lots to look out for, especially here on Wednesday with CPI and on Thursday with this whole list of stuff happening right here.
Yeah, absolutely. A action-packed week, especially in the back half of the week. James, I want to thank you for, as always, coming on and giving us a little rundown of what to expect this week. And we will catch you back on the next one. Thanks a lot.
Of course. Thank you.
All right, guys. So we are back. And again, it's been a minute since I've done a content, as weird as it is, I'm constantly on camera, constantly, on a mic or something. So it is a little bit of like weird to get back used to streaming. Although I did film a Sunday video yesterday, so I'm kind of warm. Anyways, the markets right now have been really interesting. If you've been watching gold, I think, honestly, it was a pretty good week for me to miss because some of the things that I trade the most, like gold and the indices, really went sideways. You know, we went sideways, and now as we are kind of back in the saddle here today, it does look really interesting to me, the fact that, this level of resistance that we have marked out on the chart actually looks like it may be forming into a level of support. Gold had a really strong break here this morning, but this is an hourly chart. So I want to show you guys, in terms of, if you're a gold trader, if you're somebody who trades gold, watch this candle. If this candle closes like this, right? If we're able to close above this key level of resistance here, it could actually be really interesting to see if we get some pullback opportunities and continuations of this kind of upward trend. Am I bullish on gold? Is it something I'm going to take a trade on? Probably not, because I don't really have any confirmation from the edge finder right now. You can see gold is not even, it's in the neutral category. So it's not getting a bullish, bearish, or anything reading. It's just getting a neutral. So right now, gold is probably not something for me, but I know a lot of traders who watch these shows, of course, are watching gold. And gold here, again, watching for this break. If this is able to stay strong, it could be an interesting kind of follow-through move to the upside for gold bulls, at least just looking at a purely technical move. So yeah, what is the edge finder? If you don't know the edge finder, great question. I use it constantly in my content. So if you're somebody who's regular, what the tool is. Basically, it's our software. It is an algorithm that pulls in a ton of data and basically scores and gives biases on various currency pairs, assets, indices, gold, etc. So right now, this is kind of forming my watch list for things that I'm most interested in at this moment. So there's a lot of things here. So let's actually narrow our search here just to the very bullish and very bearish categories. And what you can see here is this gives us basically a watch list of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different things. So for me right now, in terms of possible things that I could trade, I really only have 10 things that very clearly match up with what I want to trade. So the edge finder, again, what it does is it takes into account all of this data, the commitment of traders data, economic figures, seasonal trends, retail positioning. It takes in all of these things, and it essentially scores and monitors them and generates an output for us as traders. So I'll use this as a confirmation tool to my trading. So for example, we could go take a look at the Euro USD, and look at that rejection, by the way, off gold. You might ask, well, is if gold is not what you're looking to trade, what is? And for me right now, the euro looks incredibly interesting, actually, off of the 4-hour chart. So we're looking at the 4-hour chart, and it's pretty clear that this market is in a pretty strong downward trend right now. Now, again, we have highs being formed, followed by lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, and notably also lower lows, right? Price selling off, breaking through the lows. So I am actually pretty bearish on the euro at this time. And so as we kind of come into contact with this area, there actually may be an opportunity here on the short side that I could be interested in taking advantage of. Now, if I'm being more swing trade focused, right? This is a 50 pip stop loss. And I don't hate this idea, right? If the dollar strength does kind of come back in, we could very well take out the lows and continue to push lower on this move. Again, if you captured even just one of these legs, if we take kind of a measured move here, let's do this. If you take this move, for example, and you just copy it and put it over here, you can see a pretty reasonable move would be to expect this thing, if it's going to trend and continue, to push through the lows. So I don't hate that. I actually like the euro on the short side. If price squeezes higher just a little bit off of like the 1-hour chart, I may look to sell into this zone. So it's something I'm watching out for myself. Again, the hourly kind of looks choppy, but if you look at the 4-hour, it's in a pretty strong downward trend. And I think that there could be that opportunity to see more downside kind of push in here. So I'm watching the euro. I'm short biased. Malik, yeah, no problem. Glad to answer that. Welcome back, Nick. Missed these live streams conducted by you. Thank you very much. I'm happy to be here. Happy to be hosting these shows again. I had a great vacation, but it's nice to be back. Anyways, yeah, so I'm watching the euro, looking for short side opportunities there. I know Frank traded this last week inside of the VIP group, so we'll see if what happens there. I traded the NASDAQ before I left, made pretty good money trading the NASDAQ. I did take a loss on Euro Aussie. I bought the euro against the Australian dollar. That didn't work out very well, so I took a loss on that one. However, that NASDAQ, we ended up getting 6,081 pips. So it was a crazy move to the upside. By the way, if you guys want to join the VIP Discord, we're going to drop a link in the chat here. If you want to join us, shoot us a message right now. We have a couple people on staff who help with memberships. If you'd like to speak with someone on our team to get access to the membership, just click this link and you'll be directed to a place where you can ask for details. If you want to ask about our pricing options, if you want to ask about what is entailed in the group. Again, we share all of our trades, breakdowns, what we're trading. If you want to get notifications whenever I take a trade or Frank takes a trade, you can see all of that in detail inside of the VIP group. It's something that we've run together for quite some time. We also have chat rooms available. Ivan does some coaching webinars. He's one of our coaches here at A1 Trading. And we also have educational stuff where you can download our strategies, get more understanding about how we're taking trades, etc. So if you'd like to join, message us right now. We've got some people who are on standby who can answer any questions you have about what we offer and give you pricing details if that's something. Malik, yeah, message us. You can also, if anybody wants access to the EDGEFINDER, also you can message us there and someone can get you set up with a copy as well. So if you want access to the EDGEFINDER or the Discord, just message in and someone from our staff will help you out. So yeah, I like the euro on the short side. EDGEFINDER is giving it a -10, which is a very, very strong reading here. So we will have to come back to that. Speaking of strong readings, I know it is Monday, and you guys know on Mondays, if you're a regular, we track the COT data here on the show every Monday. If you have not looked at this before, this is the Commitment of Traders data. And to help me with this, we're going to bring in the co-developer of the EDGEFINDER, Mr. Frank Kabibi. Whenever he's ready, we can get him in here and say hello to Frank and jump into that. Hey, Frank, what's going on?
Hey, how's it going?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good. So we're doing our kind of Monday session. Did you get a chance to look at the smart money tracker? Is there anything sticking out to you?
I did. Not really though. Oil is the only clear bias, and ZAR is as well.
Yeah.
So what it looks like is just kind of mixed. I'm not really sure what to look at on the smart money side, so I don't know if I can base many trades off this. Gold has just been going crazy too, so I think if I were to get long, I would wait for some kind of pullback. But right now it's tough because there's not really many setups, or from what I've been looking at right now. I saw you talking about EURUSD, and I was, I guess, not ready to, enter a short right away. I kind of wanted to see some more, a retracement from the lows from where it's been, because it looks like there was some sort of selling exhaustion there. So waiting for another just pullback on that to enter in a trade. But
yeah, no, so Frank, we had a question in the audience, and going along with what you're saying with the Euro USD, Lyndall Jansen, which I imagine, Lyndall, you're probably an EDGEFINDER user, has a question. Says COT is more long Euro than USD. Is that a possible glitch on the EDGEFINDER? And Frank, I know this is a little bit of a complicated answer, but how can we explain that to people? So yes, long percentage is very high, 70%, if you're looking at the euro. And if you compare that again to the dollar, you might say, the US dollar is only 54%. But again, some of these other columns really matter, right? The change in short contracts, the change in long contracts, how things have developed in the last week. We take that into consideration with the scoring of the EDGEFINDER. So although, Lyndall, it does look like it is different than it used to be. If you're a regular user of the EDGEFINDER, the scoring on the COT is going to look a little bit different now. The reason is because now we are taking into account change, and we're taking into account kind of what happened in the most recent filing. So yes, the US dollar is less long in percentage form, but in the most recent reporting, take a look at the euro. There's a big increase in shorts, right? In the US dollar standpoint, there was a decrease in shorts. So Frank, is there anything you want to add to that to explain that concept?
So to add to this, for currency pairs, we now not just take the net positions overall, but what like Nick said is we take the change. So if the change in the number of long contracts is positive for one asset, that's scored into the overall. And then for the base and the quote are scored at the same time. So if the dollar gets a decrease in longs and say the euro gets an increase in longs, that will be scored for euro strength. But if the overall, say the overall score or the overall positions of the USD is higher than euro, then it will kind of negate it and neutralize that COT score. But
right.
So not only are we taking number of longs versus shorts overall, but we're taking the change week to week.
Exactly. And H Ball out points out that COT is delayed. Keep in mind there are shifts in contracts and they will be reflected later. So H Ball, to kind of clarify, we're doing exactly that. We understand that, the net positioning of COT data can be very slow to change, but the week to week change in contracts is what we're really trying to focus in on with the newest scoring in the algorithm. And we really think that that's going to tighten up some of the scoring metrics to reflect things a little bit more accurately, right? Because if they're, just because if gold has a really high long percentage, but then in the most recent week, it had a huge increase in shorts, we want our algorithm to reflect that so that we're getting a better signal from the EDGEFINDER overall. So again, Frank and I, we are the developers of this tool together. And then we have one other gentleman who helps us on the technical side. But yeah, Frank, I would kind of agree this week in terms of, just colored text. And for viewers who are newer to the show, colored text means that something was very, very bullish or very, very bearish for the previous filing. So what we can see here is Frank pointed out oil. Take a look at this. We had a big increase in long contracts, a big increase in short contracts.
Decrease.
Big decrease in short contracts. And that, of course, is a very bullish report. Think about what this is telling us in front of us, guys. We're looking at oil from what big money is doing. They're picking up more longs and they're dropping off their shorts. That's really, really bullish. So it gets a blue text here, which really kind of helps to illustrate the most important assets on the list. The other one, Frank, is the Australian dollar, which is actually kind of interesting. You had a decrease in longs here, and you had a increase in shorts. So kind of a bearish on the currency side as well.
Yeah. So maybe some Aussie shorts this week, but we'll see. The AU is pretty sold off already. But it's the same sort of, I guess, idea for most USD pairs, kind of waiting for a pullback. Like I guess right here on the 4-hour, you see some bounce from the lows. Just looks like another setup for further lows. So maybe look to short more risk on pairs.
Yeah, that could be an interesting take to keep an eye on. Someone also asked in terms of, Cedric says, that feature is interesting, but can't you just create another graph report from week to week data of COT?
Yes.
Well, this guy right above me did exactly that.
So if you scroll down, let's pull up like US oil, for example, since we were talking about that.
Okay.
So this takes the week to week. If you scroll down a little more, this shows the positional bias. So it's literally just the longs versus the shorts over time. So whenever the positions change on Friday, it logs it and gives you a percentage of, okay, where are they leaning? So if we get a positive score, that means there's more longs versus shorts, and it's just a simple subtraction from one another. So if the number is negative, then it's bullish leaning. If if it's above that 0% and it's rising, you're seeing a more increasingly bullish reading. So
Yep, exactly. I mean, just looking at this, Frank, this is a beautiful illustration of the purpose of looking at change, right? Because we can see, the red is going down, the blue is going up. That divergence is beautiful because what that's telling us is that big money has been adding to their longs and dropping off their shorts. So that to me points a very clear picture for oil. Not to mention, we've got some fundamental news. I know that the U.S. has ceased some of its oil production. At the very same time, Saudi Arabia and Russia are still doing their thing, kind of controlling the supply of oil. And so oil is on a rocket ship to the upside right now. And congrats to anybody who's been catching that wave. Frank, I think for me, the top setup that at least I'm seeing right now is this Euro USD setup that I mentioned earlier. If price is coming in, again, I like the COT on it. I like the EDGEFINDER is giving it a -10 score, which is very rare to get that strong of a reading on the EDGEFINDER. COT is pointing bearish. You have retail sentiment, seasonal. Actually, Frank, this is a clean sweep for the bears on Euro. Everything that we use in the algorithm to score something here is pointing bearish. So kind of interesting there. Is there anything else that you're watching?
I just wanted to add to that. Up until the unemployment data for Aussie, that was also a -10. So those two look very bearish to me. And I think going into CPI, it seems like because of last time when we saw a decline in the month over month, or I think it was a year over year, right? And then the other two, core and whatever, remained the same. That was kind of a bullish sort of thing for the markets. But going into this, we're expecting a rise month over month and year over year, and to remain steady at core, which is the kind of like the thing that the Fed has been really worried about in the first place. So I think there's probably going to be some hawkish sort of sentiment around it, especially if we're looking at expectations of rising inflation rates and stubborn core. So I think at least for today, it's going to look more risk off than risk on. But I mean, once that number comes out, then we'll have a clearer picture of what's going on.
Yeah, that's fair enough. And another dollar cross that someone in the chat just asked about is dollar JPY. I'll pull it up here for just a second just to talk about the dollar yen. So dollar yen is another one on the EDGEFINDER that's giving us a very bullish reading. COT doesn't give us too much favor, but the rest of the indications that we look at on the algorithm are pretty bullish. So dollar yen for me is probably one that I'm more interested in being long on than short. There have been some attempts from the Bank of Japan to kind of intervene and support their currency. But with that, I still think that, we've seen this story play out for several years now. The Bank of Japan kind of throws it out there. They say like, oh, we're going to intervene with their currency. And then the market kind of tanks for a second in favor of the Japanese yen. The Japanese yen goes up, and then that move just fades. And that trend has been something that, out of the last like 5 or 6 times that they've done that, I think every single time that I've taken a trade after the Bank of Japan makes an announcement like that, going the opposite direction has worked out every time, because the Japan, again, saying like, hey, we're going to support our currency, it causes a knee-jerk reaction, but then the market kind of corrects. So for me, if they do some of the things like that, I'm actually marking up my charts to look for areas of support. So I'll give you an example. If the dollar yen were to drop, quickly down into this 144.64, it's a small size trade for me because, again, you have to be careful with a quick drop like that, jumping in front of the yen. It's a very volatile currency pair. But for me, a pullback with a calculated risk to reward on that with a small size, I don't hate that. It's in a strong upward trend overall. The dollar's really strong. As Frank is pointing out, there's kind of some risk-off sentiment in the markets that, there is actually looming recession fears. I know Deutsche Bank just put out this thing that said that, that their stance is that recession is very, very likely. And if any of those kind of concerns start to creep back up, you probably do see some strength continue to persist on the US dollar compared to other currencies. So Dollar yen is an interesting one. If it does pull back bigger, again, EDGEFINDER gives us a nice confirmation. So I may look for opportunities. I do also want to mention, we talked a lot about the EDGEFINDER. We did our COT reporting here today. If you guys would like a copy of the tool, again, it is available on our website. You can also message us right here. And if you message us here while we're on the live stream, someone from our team can hook you up with a really significant subscriber discount. So message us right now if you have any interest, and somebody can answer your questions, work with you with the tool if that's something you're interested in getting a copy of. Again, Frank and I are the developers on that and have worked on it for about 1.5 years to get it to where it's at, where you guys see it on the streams now. Frank, did you want to say something else? I know you're pulling up another chart.
Yeah, I've had this gold bearish bias for some time, and it's because it can't break this sort of falling trend line. So it came up one day and completely rejected, and I stopped out of a short, and I was really upset. And then I took another short, and it came back up and stopped me at break even. So I'm trying to get my revenge on gold, but I think if price can, hold itself below this line, and if it closes above, then I'll probably have a different sort of idea on it. But COT is not showing us much, and the overall trend is still down from May, so might be looking at more gold shorts this week too.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting spot that it's at too, Frank. I've got the hourly pulled up, and I mentioned it earlier in the stream. Gold looked like it was really trying to punch through that level. But as you and I talk about often, that candle shows a lot of rejection. I mean, that's a lot of sell pressure that just came in. If you think about where this candle was trading earlier on in this hour, right? Right around 9 o'clock, 9:15, this thing was breaking through highs. And this is why we, talk so much about on the streams. We talk about watching for candle closes, because look at what happened with this candle. If you had just bought the hype here, you're sitting in a pretty significant drawdown already. Whereas, wait for this candle to close was pretty impactful because again, we wicked off that. And this actually could very well, if this level kind of this upward trend breaks, you very well could see gold make its way right back down to the lows. And there it goes. I mean, it's selling off as we speak. So really interesting rejection. And it looks like that candle will close bearish. Frank, did you say you have a gold trade on?
No, not right now.
Okay.
I had one on, and then last week, like Thursday or Friday, it started coming back up with the market, like the stock market, and stopped me out at break even.
Okay.
But
Gotcha.
I am looking to short again, just to catch this sort of swing from the retest at the highs. So I think I'm gonna probably look for another short soon.
Yep. Cool. Yeah, makes sense. I mean, this level does not seem to want to break for the bulls, just by the nature of this candle here that we're seeing on the hourly. That's pretty significant. Let's see how it looks on the 4-hour. Same thing with the 4-hour. You can see a lot of wicks once you enter into this 1928 zone. Let's call it that. I mean, that's pretty aggressive selling each time, especially this candle. Look at this 4-hour candle. This candle right here. Huge rejection. Now it didn't continue, but it just shows how ready sellers are in this general area. So
Yeah.
we'll see how that plays out. But yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on gold to see if it's able to break one way or the other. But for now, it does seem like it's at a pretty bearish spot on the chart. Frank, I'm gonna let you go because we do have Ivan joining us in just a moment here. So I'll thank you for coming on, for sharing the COT updates, and we'll see if you take any trades inside of the VIP group today.
Sounds good. Thanks.
All right. See you guys, or see you next time. Now we're going to bring in for you guys Ivan here in just a second. But we're going to take a quick break. We're going to thank our sponsors, and then we're going to bring in Coach Ivan from the A1 Trading Discord as well. So stick around. We'll be right back with Ivan.
Attention A1 Trading Show fans. If you're interested in getting free access to the EDGEFINDER or our premium trade alerts, listen up. For a limited time, our show's partnered broker 8cap is giving out free access to our products when you sign up for a new trading account with them. If you already have a broker, you may want to consider switching to 8cap because of their low trading costs, a wide range of trading assets, and their amazing customer support. If you'd like to get access to our software and Discord server for free, click the link being dropped in the chat right now and ask one of our team members for more information. Don't miss your chance for free products and an award-winning broker. Now back to the A1 Trading Show.
And he is back, and he's back with a mustache. What a wonderful surprise this is. Hey, Ivan, how are you?
I'm doing all right, and you?
I'm good. I like the mustache. I think it suits your fun nature.
I don't have power today, so I don't have a computer. So I'm looking at your charts. I don't know what's actually happening.
What happened to the power?
My regular maintenance, and everything has been. I don't know. I have not been sleeping well since Thursday, so it's kind of like everything just goes down the toilet, anyways. Well as my trades.
Well, so, yeah. We of course appreciate you coming on to the show as always. If you guys don't know Ivan is he's one of our coaches inside of the Discord. If you're newer to the streams, I know a lot of people said they were new to the show here today. The man with the mustache here is one of our coaches within the Discord community. He is somebody who's come on the show for quite some time. Swing trader, trades mostly currency pairs, a lot of yen crosses, and good to have you back on the show, man. I want to say, the concept with the dollar yen that I was talking about earlier. I want to watching today.
Man, I've been stopped out of it at everything. Luckily, at somewhere around break even. So I wanted them to go long. I have played them long. I think I have played it quite well, but I can see everything has fallen down. So right now I'm kind of in between something, not necessarily buying yen pairs at the moment and trying to see what the market is telling me, because there has been a lot of ranges, has been a lot of unperformance, and on Friday just went down the hill.
Yeah, with some of the intervention stuff, and I was mentioning this to Frank earlier. Well, there was just some commentary from Bank of Japan officials that caused a little bit of a slide there on the open over the weekend, but. I said this to Frank. Oftentimes when you get those situations, the market kind of laughs it off as like a bluff and then just continues to push higher. Yeah. We're looking at the Australian dollar against the Japanese yen. And Ivan, you and I, we've covered currency pairs together for some time. I'm sure you remember many times where the Bank of Japan kind of says something, it causes an initial reaction, and then the market just pushes anyways. So, I think I don't actually hate the idea of looking at possible breakouts on the Japanese yen. We do know that there is some historical seasonality during this part of the year, and there is still time here in the month of September for that to potentially play out. So Australian dollar, Japanese yen, I've got it pulled up. Do you have any specific yen pairs that you're most interested in, at least?
It has to be euro yen.
Okay,
that's my little baby.
Okay, fair enough.
But yeah, it made a new lower low, is kind of coming back, but I wanted higher highs. So I hope that wick is taking some sellers out so we can go higher. But to be honest with you, the air went out of my balloon, at least for the yen pair so far. I just need to now see where things is going, take the market as it is, as the technical tells, and see where the boat goes.
Yeah, and I think one trick you guys at home can do is when you're bullish on something, right? Ivan and I very, very often on the streams will be bullish on something or bearish on something, but it's just not at a setup point. If you've ever heard the old concept of trading is like 90% waiting, it's more like 97% waiting, because so much time is just spent waiting on a trade to come into play or waiting for a trade to play out. But if we look at like the euro Japanese yen, at least from my perspective here, Ivan, is we've got this downward structure on the 4-hour chart, But I would generally agree. I am more bullish oriented on this currency pair. And so clearly we have like some downward structure. What I would be looking at, I wouldn't look to sell it personally. I would be looking for a breakout of some of that bearish structure that is in play, and then looking for the retest. And I happen to know, just Ivan and I've done this together for a while. I know that's similar to what you're probably thinking as well.
Yeah, so it needs to break that previous high, and until that happens, I'm kind of just waiting, just waiting the forest and see when it clears up. To be honest with you.
Fair enough. So, any
But-
other things that you're watching, Ivan?
I'm watching these two shoes.
That is true. Okay, so Ivan, I didn't know if it was a secret to the audience or not. So I didn't want to spill your shot. What's the news? Tell us all the news, Ivan.
I became a father for the first time on Thursday at 2 p.m. So have you slept since?
Man.
It's a firstborn. His name is William. Our new king is in the house. So
That's amazing.
A
Hey,
new
everybody in the chat, can we get some congratulations for Ivan? That is huge news. And again, I didn't say anything because Ivan messaged me about this privately, and I didn't want to kind of take his moment. So Ivan is a father. He's always been like a father to me, so it's nothing new for me. I'm just kidding, but it's really, really awesome news. So congratulations, man. And the chat is lighting up for you. So that's awesome.
Thank you. So that's why I had to ditch out, because this came quite surprising to us in the morning. So it went extremely quick. So even now it's a new phase. No sleep, as if that is something new. But I'm really everything is great. Everything is fantastic. It went well. So
That's
right
amazing.
now it's just to keep the kiddo alive, so he can also become a master of trading one day.
Yes, of course, right? He's going to become a world-renowned scalper, just like, just kidding. Whatever he wants to do. That's amazing, though. Really exciting. And, Ivan, a question for you to go off of that. Do you still trade in that sort of environment where you have some big life changes, or do you take some time away from the charts? How have you been doing it?
I'm too emotional. I'm talking a lot about emotions. I was in the phase on Friday. I didn't look at the charts, and I haven't looked today. I'm probably not going to do tomorrow either. So I've also talked a lot about you have to be a 5, like not too excited, not too low, and I'm definitely not at any close to 5. So I'm too excited, too emotional to do any trading. So I'm not going to trade at all. Maybe I'm going to take my parental leave for at least a week now to settle down. Right now, the forex market is going to do whatever it's going to do, and I'm going to come back even stronger than before.
Yeah, Ivan, that's the thing is I was on vacation last week, and I probably spent 10, 15 minutes a day just keeping an eye on the market. But I took very, very few trades. I think I took two options trades, and they were like super, super boring trades. They were really low risk, really kind of, but for the most part, away from the charts. And I think that's kind of an important thing to talk about for people in the audience. If you're going through something super emotional, like, maybe having a kid, or going through a major breakup, or losing a loved one, these moments as traders, life doesn't stop for you. So when they do happen, it's really important that you have like a plan for that. As weird as it might sound, in your trading plan, maybe it's worth saying, I won't trade for a week if something, dramatic in my life kind of happens. So I think that's a good practice, Ivan.
Yeah, and to be, especially the loved ones, you need to take care of yourself. I don't want any traders in my community anywhere that can't think straight. At 2 + 2 to be 5 at least. So that I need people to be straightforward. I need to be people to think straight so that they can make good decisions. And if you're not, then just take the break. It's more necessary for you to be well and happy than distressed.
Exactly. Well, Ivan, I don't want to keep you any longer because you have plenty of at-home stuff going on. So I want to say a thank you for coming on the show. It means a lot to myself and to everybody on here with us. And then also, again, a big congratulations to you. And again,
Thank you.
sharing wisdom even in your moments of very busy life things. So Ivan, thank you for coming on the show. And again, congratulations, man. And I love the mustache.
Thank you. It's just a thing of today, but I went with it.
That's awesome.
Thank
Well,
you for
all right,
having
man.
me.
We'll see you next time. Enjoy your time with your wife and new child.
Thank you very much. See you soon.
See ya. All right, guys. Yeah, that's really exciting news and awesome to see Ivan making such personal accomplishments like that. You know, anybody who, oops, sorry, my webcam just fell off. A different one. I have two webcams. You know, it's cool to see, you know, people making their things. And it really is a key lesson, guys, is if something is really happening, as Ivan just so brilliantly explained, if something's happening to you that is really causing your emotions to swing one way or the other, you know, whether it's a very good thing or a very tough thing, it is really important to consider that. So yeah, Ivan sounds tired. He does sound tired, and probably for you know, staying up with a kid all night is probably very, very exhausting. So I'm sure he's got a lot of father duties to do. Anyways, guys, that is going to wrap up the stream for us here today. Big shout out to Frank and Ivan for making it on the show, as well as James for helping us with the report. Remember, guys, if you want access to the EDGEFINDER, if you want access to our Discord, if you want to see the trades that are being taken, if you want to get more from Ivan, who does his coaching webinars throughout the group, he does these regularly. So if you guys would like access to all of the alerts that we are sharing, the coaching webinars, the chat room for members, as well as the educational section, please message us now. We'll drop a link in the chat here. And also, we did also share Ivan's channel in the chat as well. So if you'd like access to that, there it is. And in the chat right here, message us if you want a significant subscriber discount off of the VIP or the EDGEFINDER. Please message us now and we'll get you set up. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and we will see you back in the next one.
Thanks again for watching today's show. Our goal at A1 Trading is to continue to share free value to our audience through daily videos and articles, keeping you up to date with the latest market coverage. If you enjoy our content, make sure to subscribe for more. And if you create a new trading account with ACAP, you can get tools like the EDGEFINDER completely for free. Check the link in the description for more information. From all of us at A1 Trading, have a great day, and we'll see you next time.